Hey you guys, what's going on? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review, season 8, episode 2. So the episode picks up where it left off with Kenya and Sheree still going back and forth, all up in each other's face and shit. Cynthia pretty much kind of puts a stop to it, and Kenya decides she wants to apologize for calling Sheree a bitch ass. I'm like, wow, Kenya. Wow. But then she goes off and talks to Phaedra and still is kind of throwing shade at Sheree. And it's kind of like, Kenya, I don't understand why you don't ever see what you do wrong in the situation. Don't sit up here and apologize and still be throwing shade like as if you did no wrong in this situation. You brought the shit up about her fucking house at a time that it did not need to be brought up. You bring it up at your friend's event. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And like I said last week, you can't sit up here and talk about Sheree when you ain't got no motherfucking walls, no motherfucking ceiling. You ain't got shit. Hell, Sheree got more than what the fuck your ass got. So how you gonna sit up here and talk about somebody else? Like, I mean, come the fuck on. Like, fuck out of here. So we get to Peter telling Cynthia that he was offended about how Kenya was acting towards him because of the whole video situation. And Cynthia's like, she's saying in her confessional, she was like, well, I mean, everybody knows about the video at this point, so it's like, like whatever, so he starts attacking her about her attire when she came down the steps, and when she first is making her her debut on the scene or whatever at her event. He was coming at her about what she had on and everything, and I'm like, you jealous ass motherfucker. It's like, see, you done fucked up with this whole video situation, so now you want to sit up here and act insecure because she came out there fierce, honey. God damn it. Cynthia looked good. She looked really good. I mean, I don't care for Cynthia too much, but I give credit where it's due. And Cynthia looked good coming down those stairs, okay? Peter, like, she's a model. You know that she's going to show the fuck out, especially because it's her event. And what she had on went perfectly well with the, the event, her launching this shade line. So, like, why you mad for, bruh? Why you mad, Peter Patricia? Whatever you decide your name is the fuck today. Stop being a fucking hater. Cause now you sitting up here feeling insecure because you knew you fucked up with that video. I mean, you knew you fucked up in that video. You knew you fucked up. So, anyways, we have Sheree talking to the girls about how she's reformed and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. Moving on to the next scene. We have Kenya and Kim Fields. The one who played Regine off of Living Single, and she played on some other popular show, but I don't think I was born around it. I ain't trying to throw no Portia shade, honey, but I'm only 20 years old. I don't think I was around when she was playing Tootie. I'm just saying, but I definitely remember her as Regine from Living Single. We are living single. Ooh, in the 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girls. Keep your head up, what? Keep your head up, that's right. That was my show, y'all. Like, y'all understand. That's my, and it's still my fucking show, but I don't watch it as much as I used to. But, yeah, so Kenya and Kim, they're having a conversation. Kim's telling her about how she's doing an independent pilot. Kenya claims that she worked with Tyler Perry. I want to know on what. Show me the receipts. Show me the Carfax. Okay. I'm just saying. Cause yeah, I believe Kim Fields worked with him. I could believe that, but Kenya, as ratchet as you is, I guess. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened, cause I mean, shit. When you think about it, I mean, Kenya does know a lot of people, but I don't know if I could see Tyler Perry working with her. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I mean, well, she did know the one of the producers, that dude that Demetria was dating last season, and I think he worked for Tyler Perry too. So, I mean, shit, maybe she did work for Tyler Perry. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, Kenya made a comment about how they're both in Hollywood, and you know how Hollywood's been good to both of them or something like that. And Kim looking like, bitch, good to who? Yeah, good to me, but I don't know about you. You know, like Kenya really be talking like as if she's just this A-lister, and it's like, girl, you not even a B-list or a C-list, maybe a D-list. Oh, well, then maybe this show, I don't know. Well, no, because it's a reality show. It's not, you know. So, yeah, you're probably about like a D-list. The bottom of the barrel, you know. I'm just saying, like, she really be talking like this. She's this big Hollywood actress. Like, she's Halle Berry or somebody. Girl, you're bad. But yeah, Kim threw her, like I said, Kim threw her a little shade. Was looking like, bitch, what? Like, okay, keep on being delusional. But she wants Kim's help on her Life on Twirls film. I think that's what it's called. I think she was shooting it last season or something like that. Like, Kenya, ain't nobody about to watch that bullshit. Ain't nobody fixing to be watching that bullshit. Not even if it, you know, if it was for free on the damn internet. Ain't nobody gonna be watching that shit. I'm sorry. Just, no. We ain't featuring it. We ain't featuring it, okay? I'm just saying. Moving on to Cynthia. So she's talking to her business partner Tiffany about basically confiding in her about Peter and his shenanigans and everything. And you know, she gets kind of emotional, and Tiffany is just trying to give her some good sound advice or whatever. And I thought that was really nice. You know, I know that sometimes you be trying to just, you know, work and not, you know, not always focus on your personal issues, but sometimes it's good to have somebody that's in your business, or, you know what I'm saying, that you're doing business with. Sometimes it's good to be able to have somebody like that you can confide in about your issues and everything. So I think that I thought that was a nice, you know, nice to see Tiffany, you know, giving her sound advice, and, you know, Cynthia being able to confide in her. So moving on from that, we get to Portia. I know y'all trying to figure out why I'm just looking like this when I said Portia. Y'all gonna find out in a minute. So we get to Portia, and she's talking to her team. I think about, did they say a clothing line or a lingerie line, child? I'm not gonna lie. My ears kind of went mute for a few minutes because I had got distracted. So I don't know exactly. I think it's a clothing line, something like that. Y'all let me know. She's, you know, they bring up Duke during the meeting and everything, and she was like, you know, am I gonna be able to have time for Duke? And I was like, girl, you was at a business meeting, why is you talking about your little, well, he ain't ugly, but, because I was going to say your little ugly ass boyfriend. But the nigga ain't ugly, so, yeah. I'm just saying. But yeah, she brings him up and everything, and they get into it. They tell her straight up, like, Portia, when you have a man, you're not motivated. And if shit is not going right, they can't even get in, you know, they don't even be able to get in touch with you and everything. And she's laughing like, you know, now, don't get me wrong. I like Portia, y'all, but I just, some of her decisions, I just be like, really? Like, really, bitch? The gay dude, well, I don't know if he's gay. I don't want to assume, I don't want to offend nobody, but I assume that the nigga is gay. He, you know, he throws a little shade at her, calling Portia trashy, you know, in regards to, the clothing line and everything, you know, saying that, you know, Portia's kind of trashy or whatever, I guess, and how she dresses. I like the way Portia dresses. I mean, sometimes, yeah, maybe she might be doing a little bit too much, showing a little bit too much, but, for the most part, I like what Portia wears, you know, so, whatever. Next we get to Phaedra and Cynthia. They have a meeting. And Candy and Sheree also has a meeting. So, Phaedra and Cynthia, they meet up to talk about, they meet up to have tea. Candy and Sheree meets up at Candy's, clothing store. And, both parties are pretty much talking about the whole incident that happened with Kenya. And Sheree is just kind of like, she don't got time. Basically saying she don't got time for that kind of tomfoolery that Kenya was trying to pull at Cynthia's event and everything, you know. Phaedra and Cynthia, they start talking about Peter. And, you know, Phaedra's pretty much just, you know, trying to let Cynthia know that she's here for her and everything. And she starts referring to her situation with, you know, Apollo, and letting, you know, basically letting Cynthia know that she understands, you know, how she's feeling right now, because she's had her own situation. We get Candy again talking to Sheree, and she's, you know, still confused about what the fuck is going on with her and Phaedra. You know, what's the fucking issue? And she said that she was confiding in somebody more than she was, you know, to her. I blacked out on that, on the name for a minute, because I was trying to, you know, get my notes together. So I don't know if she was saying that she confided in Nene more, or that's probably the name that she said, but I'm not too sure. But I mean, bottom line, Phaedra been confiding in everybody more than she has been to Candy, if we want to keep it real here, you know. So Phaedra's telling Cynthia, she basically telling Cynthia she don't feel like Candy has really been there for her, and this, that, and the third. And then she was saying how, you know, basically saying how, you know, she's forgiving Cynthia for the incident that happened between them last year and everything. But she was like, you know, she feels like that certain people that she thought would have had her back didn't have her back, so-calledly. And she was like, I won't forget what Cynthia or Candy did. And I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck Candy, Phaedra, you act like as if Candy just straight up did something so horrible to you. Like, for you to even come out your mouth and say that. There's a lot of miscommunication going on between y'all. I mean, I'm going to get into that in a minute, but I'm just saying, like, to sit up here and say, to put her name in it too, like, she, like as if she did something so horrible to you. She not the one who sat up here and, you know, put X in front of every motherfucking body, about your affairs with your fucking husband. Cynthia did. So the only person you should have been saying that about in your fucking confessional was Cynthia. Because the issue with you and Candy right now is not that motherfucking serious for you to be with the dramatics like that. Moving on. We get a little introduction to Kim. You know, her and her husband been married for 8 years. And Kim just really comes off as a cool, laid-back chick. You know what I'm saying? She really just seems like she's down to earth. And, you know, she's basically saying how, you know, she's not at every red carpet event. And, she explains how she had, you know, she has 2 boys. Her first son, I don't remember their ages, y'all. I'm sorry. She had her first son, and then, she had 2 miscarriages, but then she was blessed with her second son. And, I mean, I'm, you know, I remember hearing about that a few years back. I think she was on a magazine, and I think they was talking about that in the magazine. So, I'm glad that her and her husband didn't give up on having another baby. I'm glad that it happened for them. So congrats to you guys. I mean, even though, you know, he's well, you know, he's walking and talking and stuff like that. But I'm just, you know, just to say now, you know, congratulations to you guys. And I'm, you know, glad that you guys were able to get through that, stepping stone. So moving on from that, we have Candy again, you know, at the Candy Factory, talking to her team about basically about Dr. Jackie's orders that she needs to cut back on her workload, and they all looking like as if she was speaking Spanish or some shit. I mean, Candy kind of does need to cut back on her workload because, like I said, she is older. It's not like as if she's young. I mean, hell, even being young, when you get to be a certain amount of months, you definitely should start cutting back on how much you're working yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to risk having, you know, something happen to the baby. You know what I'm saying? So they always just kind of looking like, what is she supposed to do? Just continue to work like she been working? No. So, they start talking about Candy, and opening up a new restaurant, which I'm not surprised that Candy's opening up a restaurant. As much as she loves to eat, even before this pregnancy, we just know Candy loves to eat. So, I'm not surprised she's opening up a restaurant. Todd nags her about the money that Phaedra owes him once again. And it's kind of like, I know I said last week, I said last week that I don't feel like Candy should just have that conversation by herself. You know, I was like, if anything, Candy should just be a mediator in that situation, but Todd be the one to really have the conversation with Phaedra. But Candy just, you know, be there to just mediate a little bit. But for you to sit up here and put all this pressure on your pregnant wife, Todd, that's a little bit, for some money, that's a little bit selfish. And it's kind of like, why is this being so much in the forefront now? Why is you so concerned about this money now? And this, you know, we 2 years later. I'm just saying. My thing is, I know, yes, I understand Candy is tighter with Phaedra than you are, but still, technically, you knew Phaedra first, so I don't understand why you can't just have the conversation with her instead of having your pregnant wife do it, putting more stress. Like Candy and Phaedra are already having issues of their own, and you're putting more stress on it by keep on nagging her about this issue. You're putting more stress on her because she's carrying your child. And I like Todd, but you know, I would put him in check too. No one's safe. I'm just saying. Moving on, we get to Portia again. she talking to her family or whatever about his going away party, and they, of course, they have their concerns and everything, which they should, because he is younger. He's an NFL player. A lot of those ball players, be creeping and creeping with every woman in sight. Just saying. And Lauren, Portia's sister, she's feeling a little fatigued, a little, not feeling too well. And that's when she reveals that she's expecting. Portia I'm not going to say Portia was necessarily jealous, but she just kind of felt like, damn, like, I thought I was going to get pregnant first. Because I believe Portia's older, right? She's older than Lauren. So, yeah, she just thought that she was going to be the one. Especially because, Portia, was married and everything, She just thought that she was going to be the one to, have a baby first. We get to the actual party. The actual surprise going away party that they're throwing for him. Phaedra arrived. Phaedra, Candy, and Cynthia, they, come to the event and everything, and Duke shows up. And, everyone's like, surprise! And, Candy's face, she was just kind of like she ain't really want to be participating and saying the surprisation, but I get it, because everybody has their concerns. Everybody is very critical of Duke, and we definitely see that Lauren is definitely not feeling this whole situation. The dude that I think is gay, that's a part of Portia's team, he was saying that he heard that he's into porn stars. And then that's when Candy throws that she seen something about him being into transsexuals. I was like, ooh, I ain't got no tea, but porn stars and transsexuals? Portia. Well, it don't matter at this point, because, as we all know, like I said, they not together no more, so it don't even matter at this point. But where am I at? Oh yeah, Portia talks about buying a house with the nigga. Bitch, you don't know him from a can of motherfucking paint. All you know is his first and his last motherfucking name, and maybe his middle. You ain't been with him that long for you to be talking about buying houses and shit. And the way he, was kind of acting, kind of nervous about what the fuck she was going to do next, kind of like the whole time. So that kind of is an indication to me. I damn sure know he ain't fixing to be buying a house. I think she said they had a conversation, but and Candy and everybody else is pretty much saying the same thing I'm saying. Like, can you get to know him first? Like, y'all barely know each other, and you talking about buying a house. To see, Portia, this is what makes me mad with you. Because it's like, you were married to somebody who was controlling, from what we seen and everything. And now that you have your freedom, you're doing a bit much. You're doing a bit, and then you're really not making yourself look good. You're not. Okay? This is not a good look. So she gives him a speech or whatever, and gives him an MVP award, and they started slobbing each other down, and I'm just like, thank God I was not eating during the duration of this episode. Matter of fact, the duration of this scene. Because I probably would have regurgitated every fucking thing, including my bodily parts. But moving on, we get to Candy and Phaedra's conversation. So the conversation goes smooth at first, and Candy was like she don't like some of the stuff that Phaedra had said in the past. They show a flashback. Candy thought that shit was cool between them because that's how Phaedra has always presented it. But she's so quick to sit up here and confide in everybody else about what the fuck is going on with her. So, and she's saying like, you know, I feel like I always reach out more than you do. I'm always inviting you places and this, that, and the third. And Phaedra felt some type of way because Todd and Candy was holding Apollo's bikes for him, and she was saying the government was grilling her about, you know, his assets or whatever. And, you know, Candy kind of threw a little bit of shade. She was like, girl, please, I'm pretty sure the government was grilling you more than just some damn bikes. Okay, like, which I agree. I'm just saying. But yeah, my thing is, like, Phaedra, you making a big fucking deal about some motherfucking bikes. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And like Candy said, what the fuck the government gotta do with her? Like, you really upset because they're whole, and you talking about all this girl code stuff and everything. Phaedra, let's be clear. Like, y'all all are friends, okay? Of course, yes, you two being the females, y'all are closer. Them two being the dudes, they are closer. You're forgetting that because Apollo and Todd have this relationship, and because Candy and Todd is married, they live under the same roof. Okay? So Todd feels like, you know, this is my man's. I want, you know, I'ma, you know, do him a favor and hold his bikes for him. Now, yeah, and Candy admitted, because Phaedra had said something about somebody in the grocery store bringing up the fact that they had the bikes at their house, and Candy admitted that it's been miscommunication on both of their parts or whatever. Phaedra pretty much attacks Candy about Todd being at the strip club with Apollo, and, you know, how that was taking food out of her kid's mouth and this, that, and the third. And she felt like Candy and Todd was just automatically taking sides and everything. And like Candy was like, he's not even mad at you about this whole Apollo thing. He's still mad at you about the money you owe him. So they start getting into that and everything. And so they start to have an emotional moment, you know, and they really speak on how they feel. And they was, you know, they start reminiscing about when Phaedra was pregnant and Candy was there for both deliveries of both of her children. And you know, they start laughing a little bit, you know, joking around a little bit. Phaedra lets it be known that she's going to have a conversation with Todd because she don't want to put any more of a strain on their friendship and everything. And Candy, you know, basically tells her, if you have an issue with me, come to me about it. And I felt Candy on that because it's like, you know, it's one thing to vent, but it's one thing to vent to somebody about, like, to vent to one of your friends about one of your other friends. But the minute that you cool down, or whatever the case is, you're supposed to go to that friend that you have an issue with and be like, hey, I feel some type of way about A, B, and C. You're not supposed to just sit up here and just hold that shit and let that shit to continue to fester. Because this shit could have been resolved. This shit should have been resolved last motherfucking season. We shouldn't still be talking about this shit this fucking season. You know? So, Don Juan, he, before I say that, they hug it out, whatever. Phaedra leaves. Don Juan, he comes up, and, he basically was, you know, telling Candy, like he always does, tell Candy like it is. And he was like, you know, he understands needing somebody to vent to and everything, but you know, Phaedra acts like as if the world revolves around her and the world's supposed to stop for her just because she going through some shit. And he was like, was she there for you when well, no, he was saying Apollo, she knew Apollo was a criminal from Jump Street. um he feels like Phaedra wasn't there for Candy, and Candy was going through a lot of shit too. We know, you know, she had issues with her mom. It was causing issues with Todd. um Todd's mom passed, and he was saying, you know, was she there for all that? You know, like, does she know about the state of your pregnancy or something like that? He was saying, and she, you know, she kind of thought about it, like, well, you know, we haven't talked though, you know, in the last couple months. And he was like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I couldn't be mad at Don Juan for real, because, I mean, he had a point. Like, you was going through a lot of shit too, and did she make an effort to reach out? No. So, and he was saying, you know, she was fake crying and all this other stuff, and I was like, Lord. I mean, I hope it was sincere. I really hope that that conversation they had was sincere. I hope that, you know, like I said, I know sometimes people will patch shit up during the season, but then once the show was finished filming and, you know, people watch back on the episodes and see what the person has said to other people or in their confessionals, and you know, sometimes it rehashes issues that's already been talked about, and then by the time we get to the motherfucking reunion, motherfuckers is beefing again. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, you know, this shit just put to rest for once and for all. But that's my review on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow for Black Ink Crew Chicago. Love y'all. Mwah.